Welcome back to What's Your Next podcast. Today we're continuing on with the questions to ask franchisees. And if you watched our previous episodes, these are broken up by category. Today we're going to be covering a new category, which is a really important category. It's support. So I'm going to ask Stacey 3 questions. She's going to answer as if she were a franchisee talking to another franchisee, looking at the current franchise that we run today. And she's also going to give you some perspective on why she feels this is such an important question and maybe some add-on questions. How does the franchisor provide ongoing support?
Welcome to What's Your Next. This is the go-to podcast for aspiring business owners who want to get to the next level, escape the rat race, and give their middle finger to the corporate 9-to-5. If you want financial freedom, work-life balance, and the business of your dreams, you're in the right place. Dave and Stacey Riska, husband-wife franchising duo, openly share their successes, failures, and lessons learned in franchising, business ownership, and working with your spouse.
Well, the franchisor actually has some good systems in place. They have a portal where you can go online and ask questions. You can put in a ticket, if you're struggling in any area, and you can categorize what you need help with, and somebody will get back to you. So the importance of the question about asking about support is to understand, where do you go when you have a question? And we're always advising our candidates to understand, to get an answer, right, to this question. Because yes, you're buying a business in a box. That's what a franchise is. But what happens 3, 6, 9 months down the road when you have a question or an issue? Do you have a dedicated person you can reach out to and pick up the phone? Or like us in our franchise, do you have to put it into an online portal and wait for somebody to get back to you? And what does that time frame look like? And do they positively help you resolve the issue? So a lot of ancillary questions around support. Definitely make sure you get the answers to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's critical. I mean, this is really, really important to make sure that you're comfortable that you're going to get the level of support based on where you are in life, what you're looking for, what's your why, and your past experience. It's really important to know that you're going to be supported properly. So question number 2, does the franchisee support your business activities and results to your expectations?
So for our coffee smoothie business, I would say yes. I mean, it's very average. Now, our franchise has been through quite a unique scenario where they actually ended up being bought out, which in the long term is a good thing because they have a lot of stronger brand and leadership in place now. But during those bumps and bruises, there were some ups and downs. But as I answered previously, yes, I mean, we get the support we need. Luckily enough for us, for Dave and Stacey, we don't need a lot of support. But when we do, we're able just to, as I said, put in that trouble ticket online and somebody does get back to us.
Right. So I agree with Stacey. Watch our episode on Would You Do It All Over Again. We're going to give you some perspective of some bumps in the road that we ran into with our franchise at the time we needed it with support. And I think it's important that those types of things are the types of questions and answers you want to get during this part of the due diligence phase to make sure that you're comfortable with that franchise's ability to support you. We went into our franchise having a very decent amount of previous business experience, and had we not had that, I'm not sure the result would have been the same today.
Now, what I'm kind of seeing today as a trend in franchising, a lot of the brands today are offering more comprehensive support services, quote unquote, because as Dave alluded to in previous episodes, they'll help with your marketing. But many of them are helping with customer service. They're being the call center. Many of them are really investing heavily in technology to have the tools to support the franchisee, like for billing and even routing. Let's say you're in home services and your franchise is helping you answer the phone, book appointments, and actually route out your day. Well, that's huge. Think of how much time that saves you, and you don't have to buy the tools and technology yourself. So, a lot of this falls under the broad category of support, but I see a lot more franchisors today investing heavily in this type of support for their franchisees, which is great.
Yeah, agreed. I totally agree. I think the level, at least with the franchisees the franchisors we work with, there's a much higher level of focus on the support to the franchisees than I think there was even 10 and 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. All right. Question number 3. Does your franchisor respond quickly to your questions and concerns?
Yes, I would, I give them an A, a solid A. In our system, the good news is there wasn't a lot of, things that we needed to get support with. We would have, I remember way back in the day, in the beginning, some of our challenges, and they could be pretty big. So I remember when we had ordered an expensive piece of equipment, a tiki bar, 1,000-pound tiki bar, and we had to have a custom trailer made in order to put this tiki bar on, and it didn't fit, because they had misallocated with the manufacturing company of the tiki bars that literally 1 inch. Do you remember this?
I do.
And yeah, talk about needing support. We got this tiki bar arrived and we couldn't get it onto the trailer to haul it out. And so they had to work with us to remanufacture and get 1 inch welded off of this tiki bar. So those are the kinds of things and what if you're in a food franchise and distribution shows up and you have rotted or mildewed or molded kind of food, right? How is your franchise going to help you with that? All of this kind of ties in with support.
Right.
And obviously you need a response quickly. You can't wait 2 days to hear back when you have food sitting there rotting on your floor.
Right. And I'll just add to this. I will say the same as Stacey. I thought our franchise was very responsive. They always got back to us when we had questions or concerns around support. I didn't always like their answers, because there were some things they were beyond their scope, I'll just say, that we felt we should have been getting and we didn't get. We figured it out. We made it work. So that's it for today's episode. We got more questions. Again, if you'd like to download these questions, check out the link below. We'll be back again soon.